Great. We'll get started. So I wanted to ask if anyone has a question that they want answered before we go into the healing. Not a personal question, but a question about healing. How it's done, how you would handle a certain situation if you're a healer, or I guess you could also ask about how you would handle something you have, but I don't want you to get real specific on that because we're going to be doing a healing afterward and you'll receive healing for it anyway. Anybody have a question? Jane? Did you also raise your hand, Barb?
No.
Okay, Jane.
Oh, okay. A friend of mine, a hypnotist, does regression in lifetimes, goes back in lifetimes, and I wanted as much information as I can from her. And can you get healing from doing a lot of that? Past lives.
You get what, Jane?
I couldn't quite understand that.
Yeah, learn from it, heal past life things. I want to know what past lives might have given me in this life. I want to know it all. And I'm hoping I will. And I'm just real excited about it. I don't know if any of you've had any past life hypnosis.
Nope, I just read past lives from reading the Akashic records, and I think it's real easy to read them. I don't necessarily take the client through all of them. I more describe, here's what happened and here's what it means for this lifetime. And here's a progression where you had it this time and you had it this time and you had it this time and you looked at it from this angle and this angle and then this angle. And it's culminated in this lifetime for you to finish with it, to fully understand the path that you've been on with that. And here's what it means for your future lives. So that's my approach to doing a past life healing. I can take you through them, but I don't always, because it seems a little more efficient to just do it. But everybody does it differently and everybody likes it differently. So there's not one way to do it. There are multiple ways to do it. But reading the Akashic records is a very quick way to do it. You just go stand in the person's Akashic records and look around and see what you see. We can do some of that tonight if you would like.
Sure.
Is anybody interested in that? Show of hands.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Wanda, many years ago, we had a session at the church of helping disembodied souls cross. And I just found that so helpful. I just had a situation yesterday, and I'm really grateful that you did it, but it just seems so long ago. Maybe a lot of new people would like to learn.
Okay. That's easy too. All of this stuff is easy to do. It's just knowing that it can be done most of the time. Once you know it can be done, then you can pretty much master how to do it, as long as you believe that you can do it. I'll start out with the past life stuff. There's a place above a person's head. I don't know if you can see that, but about that far off the top of their head, give or take a little bit, depending on how expanded their aura is. Sometimes it's higher. Sometimes it's a little bit more pulled in, depending on where their aura is expanded to at that time when you're working on them. But if you go in and increase the size of their aura, it gets very easy to walk into their Akashic records with your consciousness. You just set the intent to do it. And it'll look different to different people. Like some people see it like a big library with books in it. Some people see it more like a media display where they're looking at little vignettes of the person's life in different lifetimes. Lately, I tend to get on top of it and look at all their lifetimes at once, so that I see how they're all interrelated. And I'm not just looking at lives on this planet, but every planet they've ever been on, and how they've moved across the universe in their development. And all of us have a pattern for our development through past lives that moves us to have every experience that this universe has to offer, and also all the other universes have to offer. And you can follow the trails between one universe and another that tie into the experiences there, and they're often related. I mean, you're one being, so whatever you experience in more than one place and at more than one time. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Cindy. We're talking a little bit now about reading past lives, and we're going to talk about helping souls that are lingering to cross over. So to read the Akashic records, you can read your own as well. Expand your aura out. And then let yourself ascend. Open your eyes, open all of your ability to envision what someone else is, how they have lived, where they've been, where they're going. So I'm drawn to you, Neil, in talking about some of your past lives. You had a couple, at least one lifetime where you were a eunuch. This was in it was Eastern, like not as far as China, but maybe Patrick yelled at me, Mongolia. So I think he's right about that. Very close to that line. And it was a very painful experience. And you then became like a servant to someone in a ruling class, and you felt, of course, emasculated by it, but you still had a family. You already had a family when it happened, and it just kind of tore your heart out because you were worried that you couldn't give your wife any more children. And then I can follow that into another universe where there are beings that look kind of like octopuses, but they're not. They're very advanced and use a lot of technology. Though they do live in the water, but they still have a lot of technology. In that life, there was a stripping away of some of your rights, including the right to have children. And this occurred because you didn't agree with all the current theories about science. And you thought that you could figure out how to travel from one universe to another. And nobody else believed that could be done, but you were certain of it. And you set about trying to prove it. But in the stripping away, and that seems to be a common thread there, the stripping away of rights that should be inalienable, that can't, that should never be taken from anyone. And I think in this life you experience some of that because you felt some of your rights as a human being were taken away from you. And it's been crushing at each place was where it happened. And if I look across all of your timelines, there are multiple episodes of that, and I won't go into every one of them. This is your lifetime to recover from it. So it's reclaiming yourself, reclaiming your right to propagate, to have loving relationships, and to fully love yourself and not feel stripped. Does that make sense to you? Okay.
Thank you.
I've done a lot of past life readings on you. This was a new one, though. So I guess they come when it's time to see them, is my experience, that when it's time to know something, that past life will be evident. Who else would like to hear? All right, I was kind of drawn to Karen, so I guess I heard you calling me. It's very interesting, Karen, because you had a life where you were both a male and a female. And I don't mean that you were like both sexes at the same time. This was on Earth, and you took one lifetime as a female part of a partnership, And then you came back again and went into the other part of the partnership and became the other person. So you experienced the relationship from both sides. And there was some confusion with this. And you didn't particularly enjoy the male part of that couple. And you're still not enjoying the male part of coupling. um, have you had some trouble with that in this life?
There's been a little confusion at times, yeah.
I can see why. There was a lot of dominance in the male partner in that lifetime, and you developed anger about that. And you're still holding on to some anger about that. And if I look around, I also see like Little House on the Prairie. You lived in that time as well. And you were so lonely. You were so far away from other people. Town was like 20 miles away, and it took forever to get there. And you were angry because you were put in that position. You didn't want to go. Didn't want to go be away from town, away from other people, away from your family. And you gave birth alone. And it broke your heart that there was nobody there with you. And not all of the babies survived it. Out of 6 or 7 babies, 3 did not survive that birthing process. And you withered inside. How do you feel when I say these things?
It resonates.
Then I see you on a planet where you have a totally different kind of form than you do here. It's vaguely humanoid, but you're more silver colored and nocturnal. And you have these really big eyes to take in the light during the night, like an owl, you know. But you're certainly not an owl, you're humanoid, but just very different. Silvery, and you have really long fingers, and your fingers are very sensitive when you touch something. Yeah, the fingers are really long, and they have really strong sensors on the end of them. So you can touch something and sense its energy really well through those sensors on your fingers that are particular to the race you are. And can you do that now? Touch people and feel them?
I haven't tried it yet.
You might try that, because I think that you could easily recover that skill from that time. But you also in that lifetime lost some of your fingers. They were cut off as like a punishment, and you were kind of afraid to be sensitive anymore. But I feel like that is something that is healing for you, and that you will discover more of your ability with it. You have to reach out to do it. And there's a hesitation in the reaching out. So that's not so much seeing a set, a progression of a story. It's more of giving you a little bit of different things that you're working on in this lifetime. I do see in your next 3 lives that you will reach a more advanced state of spiritual development where you become a mentor to other people. And you are really hypersensitive to the needs of other people. You sense what they need and are able to provide it for them. That becomes the strongest in the 3rd lifetime after this one, which appears to be in I see a lifetime in the 2200s, one in the 2600s, and one in the 2300. It's in the 2300 one that you are magnificently developed and consider quite a guru. And you have been before some of these other things happened to you. You had a lifetime where this was in what appears to be China, where you were a devotee of Kuan Yin and strongly compassionate, and you still feel something about Kuan Yin, don't you? Yes. So in being the devotee of Kuan Yin, you became a soul of compassion, and your compassion led you to go out and administer or minister to people and to convey the teachings that are built around Kuan Yin, that lessons of compassion. That is what you are returning to. You got off track with a sense of abuse, but you are returning to that and very strongly drawn to it and end up a guru again, a mentor to others who are seeking to develop. It's a good path. It's a little hard one, but it's a good one because you come back to it with your eyes opened in all the ways that you can be compassionate. Having learned what all compassion encompasses, how many different things that it can encompass, and that everyone needs it, even those who act out need compassion because they're acting out because something's wrong. You also teach. It's a more streamlined version of what you taught before. More direct. Like anybody can become a master of compassion and raise the awareness of other people through compassionate application of love, devotion, and raising everyone's vibration. Still resonating with you? Yeah, I thought so. All right. So you guys want to take a turn at trying to do that? All right, I'm going to ask who would volunteer to read someone's Akashic records? We have a volunteer to do it. I didn't see who raised their hand. Okay, Wendy raised her hand. Pick someone out and read them. And say how you do it. I gave my version of how I do it. I just go around, walk around in their Akashic records, look around and see what's there. So say how you do it.
There's two ladies that are on together, and I don't know you two. The lady on the right, what is your name?
My name is Paula
Paula, and your friend?
Roz.
Roz? So let's do a reading for Roz. So I look at the person, like Wanda, I expand your energy field, and I open my crown, I open my energy field, connect with your soul, your guides and angels and masters. And I use a group of intuition masters that Rodrigo and I teach in the intuition classes, and connect with them and ask. Especially in the process of a regular energy healing, I will often be led to after a situation has been identified, I will look at the person's ancestry, which is through a different path. It's kind of up, if you will, to look at the ancestry, both of the male, the in the maternal and the paternal line, and then the Akashic records, or the I usually look in the past. Wanda has been looking in the future, but it's kind of a diagonal that lives in the aura of the individual. Definitely one can go up, but you can go out as well to see someone's past. Does that make sense? Okay. So, Roz, in the 300s, you were a man, and I see you in battle. If you remember that in the 300s, Roman Empire was still dominating the world, and you were in survival mode. You were a warrior, and you were very powerful in that lifetime, physically powerful. You developed you were very broad, very accomplished warrior. And yet you had a tender heart. You cared deeply for your friends and family. And so there was this juxtaposition. You were just such a soft, tender soul, yet a vicious in the field, effective. Because remember, you were doing your job. And over time, that created angst for you. Do you struggle today with conflict within sometimes?
Yes. And I also had to work on in this lifetime, asking the defensive warrior to retire a little so that it wasn't standing in front of my castle trying to protect from every single thing and not let anything in. So, yes.
And yet having a big heart at the same time. And so that's one of the reasons why you have struggled. And instead of blaming your warrior, understand that there was a time that it was necessary and you were just doing your job.
Yes, I actually asked my warrior, um, uh, to while I asked the person to step aside, I thanked the person for the defensiveness that I needed early on in this lifetime too.
Yeah.
So,
Your survival mechanism, right?
right, right.
And so loving that beautiful part of you that was actually a heroine that allowed the rest of you to go on and thrive.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you. Thank you, Wendy.
Welcome.
Teresa, you want to say how you do it?
Well, I have to tell you, I don't really do very much past life readings because I feel that we have all lived so many. I mean, I'm talking millions of past lives or future lives, and that all those things are things to be cherished and learned from. And so I've delved into my own, but I haven't really done readings for other people because I'm not sure that telling somebody, that you have something that is residual or whatever. I don't know if you need to examine that. I'm more into the using an Arcturian energy sieve to simply get rid of all the things you don't need anymore and get rid of them without having to analyze any of them. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. My current way of working with people is to integrate the knowledge and wisdom of every lifetime into where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Integrate their consciousness together so they have the knowledge and wisdom of every lifetime with them at this point, and expand their understanding of themselves as a being that is everywhere all the time at once.
Yes.
And contains all the knowledge of every place.
Yes. Yes. So I would be happy to, and I'm thinking, Jane, I could work with you, Jane, if you don't mind. And again, it's the idea of course, expanding, and then also expanding your capability to look into other dimensions and universes and connect with cosmic beings who are part of yourself, and looking at Jane and going back to the time when she was actually in her first incarnation on Earth as a star being. So when you came to this earth, you came enlightened, fully accepting a mission to come into this density and forget and reimagine what it would be like to take the energy of this density and create a new world. If you had remembered, you would have simply duplicated what you already knew. But because you came in completely unaware and innocent, you could develop something brand new, which is right now starting to solidify in this world as we begin to raise our vibration and enter a new phase of humanity. And so all of us have such an important role. And Jane, I can see you being so happy with that first incarnation, absolutely ecstatic that you were here, feeling a body, feeling senses that you had never felt before. And so that awareness has enlivened you. And I think that now is the time for you later on in your life, as you become a sage and you appreciate the experiences that you've had in this life and all the others that you have explored, because you have so many different aspects of yourself, that you are consolidating all of this into kind of a newness for yourself as you start to go forward into the next phase of your life, whatever that is and wherever that is. And so I see a lot of peace with you and a lot of satisfaction and the knowledge that you have had a mission and that you have done a very good job of forwarding that mission. So
Very,
does any of that resonate, Jane? You're
did
muted.
that resonate with you, Jane?
Yeah, I tried to get the ability to talk, and I just got it. So yes, it resonates definitely. And I'm feeling I will be on that path now, going on more and more expansion and learning.
Yes.
I always feel like doing something like that is individual to each client. And the way I would approach one client may be different than the way I approach another client. To do it for myself, I just stand in the middle of all the lifetimes that I'm experiencing, because there is no such thing as time, and you're experiencing all of them at once. It is the fact that we are in a 3D reality that we can't accept that we're experiencing everything at one time. So we tend to break it down into past and future, but there is no past and future. Everything happens all at once. And when you're standing in the middle of that and you see yourself in every dimension, in every lifetime, and you can stand there and wave at yourself in all those other places, and remember your identity as you defined yourself in that reality. It changes how you perceive yourself so much. How many people can feel themselves right now in other places? Let yourself expand and take down all the barriers. Start taking down what appear to be distinct barriers, like you're in a honeycomb. And all the little pieces of the honeycomb are there, but there are little walls in between them. Take the walls down. Don't be afraid of doing it. You won't lose yourself. You will only gain. And then I feel a wash of consciousness from every part of me celebrating every other part of me. All my consciousness, which is unending, infinite consciousness. Aware of everything. Let me know when you can get a sense of that.
I'm experiencing resistance and actual fear, which I don't understand.
There's something you don't want to know. And that's okay. You'll know when you're ready. You don't have to, you're afraid of losing yourself. But you can't lose yourself. You just gain knowledge. I feel like I can walk around through every timeline, realizing that beings and bodies stretch things out into timeline, and look into drop into each of those lines and be that part of me for a while and come back richer for it. Or I can look at all of them at one time and let them inform me, and I can inform them. Or I can be like a quark and just skip around in and out of one reality to another. There are no limits to what we can do as a spirit. You're only limited by your imagination. What you believe you can do, you can do. All right, I think I'm going to go into the healing part now. And I'm going to focus on helping us all to continue to expand awareness, because the ultimate enlightenment is that we become aware, fully aware. So divine infinite spirit. First, I'm going to ask you to put in anybody else that you want to include. So Barb.
Molly, Damien, JK, L, Diego, and myself.
Cindy.
Sorry, I was on mute. My mom, stepsister, and Tim and Gail. That's all.
Jane.
Whoa. My two brothers that are still living. my friend Kathleen, who's going through incredible stuff. And another friend of mine, Grace. Yeah.
Rodrigo,
Ron, Stacy, Mona, Jackie, Stephanie, Johan, Christina, Grace Marie.
Wendy,
My father, my Aunt Betty, in addition to the ones Rodrigo mentioned, and a slew of clients.
having a little trouble hearing some of you, so maybe speak up just a bit.
My father and my Aunt Betty and pilot client.
Thank you. And Ralph.
My immediate and extended families, particularly those who need healing, and those and close friends, and those who need to have breakthroughs in their lives to get them to the next stage, whatever that is.
And Neil.
My neighbor Athena, my friend Bob, and people of Ukraine and Russia.
Karen.
My family and friends. Thank you.
Paula. Can't hear you, dear. There you go.
Yeah. Maria and Paul and Bronco and Katerina and Chad and Haley and Roz and Angelica and her children and Brandy and loved ones, and pray for healing of the earth and for all those in harm's way, nature made and human made, and for myself, for all of us, and all those struggling in Ukraine and the Palestinians, and for peace within ourselves and each other, in relationships and in this world of all living things.
Absolutely. If we have peace within ourselves, we're contributing to peace on earth.
Mm.
And Ross.
My daughter Katerina and Paula and all of our loved ones and family. And also I would like to just raise a little bit of conscious awareness of loving compassion for one another, and good choices for our leaders with loving compassion, and just to bless the world with more compassion for one another, all people.
Thank you. You moved around on the screen, so I might have to ask you if I've already asked you, because you're not in the same order anymore. Teresa, have I asked you?
No, you haven't. Thank you. Thank you, Wanda. So my sons and the grandchildren, Carl and Allison, and you, Wanda.
Thank you. I did lose my dog, Gabriel. He passed away, so I have been very sad about that. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Barb, did I do you?
Did.
Yeah, I thought I might have. You were up further up on the screen earlier. Donna.
My family and everyone in this meeting tonight, world leaders, and your family, Wanda.
Thank you.
The humans and your little fur family, because they lost a loving family member also.
And Joe? Joe put out a message earlier.
A message that she had committed to helping someone and she had to drop off.
I couldn't quite hear that.
Joe put a text message that she had committed to helping someone, so she had to drop off.
Okay. All right. And Kim?
Thank you for Alex, Austin, and myself, and you, Wanda, and your fur babies.
Thank you. And Patrick, do you have anyone?
I think he wrote in the chat that he got kicked out.
Well, he looks like he's there. Oh, well. I pretty much know who he would pray for, so we'll add in his dad and stepmother and his brother and all his friends. All right. Divine Infinite Spirit, thank you for being with us. For being one with us. For flowing through us and all around us. For dwelling within. We ask that we are clear, centered, grounded, balanced, aligned. And filled with light, love, peace, and joy, and a sense of well-being. We ask for the help of the ascended beings, the masters, the guides, the angels, everyone's guides. And I feel that all of you are surrounded by guides and healers at various vibrational levels. And the healing is beginning to resonate in all of your chakras, causing your chakras to communicate with each other. And for those who lose hope, it's clearing that hopelessness and returning more hope. Because in order for the good things to happen, there has to be room for it. And when we have no hope, there's no room for it to happen. We have to make the space for the goodness to come in. And then the goodness, the flow of life force beginning to flow through us very strongly. And it's filled with goodness. It feeds us, it nurtures us. And it also rises up our body. As we ground into the chi pool in the center of the earth, and connect with every star, every planet, every timeline. And in particular, we connect with our fifth dimensional counterpart of ourself. That's going to raise our vibration, lift us up to our knowledge, and then we're going to connect to the seventh dimensional part of ourself. Where we begin to see the full extent of divinity. And what we've been given to work with. How unlimited we are. And it works on our strategic envisioning of fulfillment. How we can see ourselves fulfilled. And become it. Our abilities to see ourselves in the next good place. And then just be it. That true manifestation of good news, good times, good feelings, peace, love, joy, wisdom. And the coming of a golden energy into every fiber of your being, that is the wisdom of your own spirit. Bringing you truth and truth and more truth. That the world is yours to make. You create your own reality. And together, we all create the reality we live in and agree upon, and that we can create another one by agreeing on a new reality. By not acting with horror at whatever current state exists, but using that part of ourself that creates to create the next reality of peace and purpose. Of people holding hands, no longer angry at each other. Because if we're angry at what's happening, then we're helping create the other anger. Blow out. And then the energy begins to go into your cells and work on illness, whatever disease process exists. It's going into eyes. It's going into sinuses. It's working on allergies. Livers. Stomachs, intestines, the whole digestive tract, the immune function, and on reducing autoimmune responses that are unhealthy. Where some of us have parts that of our body that are attacking ourselves. Blow out. As we clear of that which is not in our best interest. Any thought, any feeling, any activity, we begin to just let it go. If it does not serve us, it needs to go. And there is a massive clearing. Blow out. And then an 8th dimensional energy activates. In our Father's house are many mansions. And this is about building your home base, your school, your teaching place, where you train people for the future of the future. A place where you are master, master teacher, master healer, master of the art of creation. And this comes right down through your core. And it pushes out of your cells those parts that don't feel like mastery. The part of the cells that says, I'm weak, I can't do it. The part of your cell that says, but I'm lost. Well, because you're not. You're always found. And the scales fall from your eyes. And you open to the becoming. It is the becoming of whatever the heck you want to be. Blow out, hearts heal, minds heal, relationships heal. It extends out to your pets and your families. And from you to all things that you're connected with. Blow out. It's working on spines, arthritis, pain. Pain is lessened. Any kind of pain. Heart pain, meaning emotional pain, mental pain, physical pain, and soul pain. And grief falls from you. Grief is just one little part of what is a full experience. For you have had every emotion in this life and in all your lives. So resonate with the happiness and the joy and the remembrance of love. The celebration of it. Of every time you've had a chance to love and taken it. And that never ends. Whatever you have loved, you still love. Whenever love is given, it extends forever. And reverberates through all universes. It's light. It's bright, shining light. Calling souls to it. where we can all share our mind. And be together in our ascension. Be together in our oneness. Our roots clear. Our memories clear. Giving us the opportunity to see things in a different way. Because all things are opportunity. Every event is an opportunity to choose how you feel and what you think. Every opportunity is something to make the most of, or not. But you'll feel a lot better if you make the most of it. Blow out. And this deep green healing energy of Raphael's ray moves through everyone, cleaning your cells and detoxifying ourselves of our self-inflicted toxification. Of our anger, our fear, our holding on to pain. Our inability to let go of it and be whole again. The energy goes to our feet. It's at our hips, our knees, our feet, to give us the mobility to walk to the next place, to leap and jump, and even fly to the next place. To take your next leap of faith, knowing you'll land well. That fear is the ultimate toxin. Blow out. And blow. There is a surge through our neurology, our neurological system. and further activation in our ability to process what we've experienced, put it into perspective, and to feel contentment. It's not about denying the experience. It is about resiliency and knowing how to return to center, reclaim our sense of self, and stand firm in it. I'm here and I'm loud and proud. And the certainty that you have something to offer. And that it is worthwhile. And that we're all here to support each other. Every one of us, that is our purpose. To be a network of provision. Not to our detriment, but to our growth. Allowing the energy to flow through us with the gift of life for all we encounter. Including ourselves. Blow out. And some of the heaviness leaves our aura, just kind of bubbles up and boils away. And then it leaves our cells, bubbles up and boils away. And we must receive in order to give. So it opens us to the receiving so that we become endless flow. That we are the recipient, the beneficiary, and the giver. In endless abundance. and endless growth. And we are being sealed. And that feels pretty complete. Does everyone feel like they had healing tonight? Good. And does everyone feel like they learned something tonight? I love you with all my heart. Oh, you beautiful people. And I think of you all the time. You're very dear to me. And every one of you is very dear to God and all the angels and all those global beings, those universal beings. There's been a great sharing of that tonight. You've received a whole universes of love. And Donna has told me we're out of time, basically, so we will stop. We'll see you soon. I think, when am I on again, Donna?
Thank you. Thank you, Wanda. We love you. Thank you so much. You are such a beautiful heart.
Thank you, Wanda.
And I'll give a commercial for Wanda. She's got a class coming up on September 30th or 29th and 30th or 30th.
August.
August. I keep doing that. Sorry, Wanda. 2 weekends. It's not this weekend, the following weekend, Labor Day weekend. So.
All about how to handle your emotions for your benefit, your thoughts and emotions to benefit yourself. Thank you, Wendy.
We'll be there.
Wanda, you will return September 6th,
Saturday. I knew it was close.
Yes, and then you are on vacation and you will return on November 1st.
Wow.
I'm going to take a vacation
Cool.
in October. So
Thank you, Wanda.
I do love you all, and I can't wait to see you again.
Oh, thank you.
Just a couple weeks.
Thank you, Wanda.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.